Hi, this video is a part of exploratory data analysis using Python playlist. In this video, I'll be talking about 911 calls dataset. So we will be exploring the 911 calls made by the people. So we will be loading the dataset. The dataset will be in CSV file, comma separated file, and then we will look at the different zip codes. So which town or which zip code area is more dangerous by looking at the maximum number of calls made by that zip code. So we'll be comparing different areas in terms of the calls made by that area, so that we could find out the dangerous places, and then we'll also look at the major reasons for the call. And once we have extracted that information, then we will extract out the time information. So what was the time when call was made, the hour, month, day of week, and date. So using that information, we could find out the trend, if there is any special kind of a trend or any special kind of a day or date or month where, or any pattern where more number of calls were made. So we could find out that trend, and we could use that information, and we could use those interactions, and then we could specifically use group by method a lot to capture this information in combination. For example, we'll be looking at those heat maps. Those heat maps will be containing the information for the specific day, and in that specific day, what was the time where most calls were made. So this interaction of 7 days and those 24 months, this is kind of a metric that we'll be getting, and we'll be using heat maps to visualize that. And we'll also be looking at the cluster maps, but we'll be visualizing that, but I'll not be explaining that. For that, I have a different playlist, machine learning from scratch playlist, and we'll be also looking at these interactions. So let's jump to the notebook to understand it in a better way. In this video, we will analyze 911 calls using Python. The first step is to import the necessary libraries. NumPy is for numerical computation. Pandas is the main library that we'll be using. Pandas is used to analyze and explore datasets. This matplotlib, pyplot, and seaborn are the libraries that we'll be using for visualization purposes. So the first thing is that we will load the dataset, and the dataset is in comma separated file. Once we have that, then we will look at different columns and information for each of the columns. So consider we have this data containing total of 9 columns, and each column, which is latitude, longitude, description, zip code, title, timestamp, township, address, these are all different columns for each of the call. So for each of the call, all of these informations will be stored, and this is the data type for each of the column. So this is float 64. This object is kind of a string. This is not even a string, but we can just think for a moment that it is kind of a string type of an object. But this information is not that much of necessary for at least this notebook. We might be using this information in later notebooks to do various kind of tasks. But one thing that you need to understand is that timestamp is here object. Instead, it should be of data type date time, because this is a time that we are looking at. So we will be converting this timestamp type. And before we go there, let's look at the data. So we are having these first 3 rows. So the first call was made from this latitude and longitude, the description of the call. This was the zip code, the area from which the call was made, and what was it about. So this is the title, and then the timestamp. This timestamp is in string form. The type is object, but he'll be converting it. Okay, so this is the basic structure of data, so how it looks. Then our main task is, the first task is to get the top 5 zip codes from which the 911 call was made. So which of the areas are risky. So kind of this is a way of saying. So first of all, this is the data frame that we have stored after loading it. So then what we will do is we will get this zip column containing all these zip codes, and then we will call this function value counts. This function will actually return this series, data frame series, containing individual zip code and their total numbers. So internally what it does is it uses this group by function, and using this group by function, all the unique zip codes are separated out, and they all are counted together. So in this way we get the total number of counts for each of the zip code. So this is the zip code, and these are the total number of calls that was made from this zip code. So and we are again applying this head function. It means that we want to look at just first 5 zip codes. Okay, this is in descending order. So the this first zip code are having maximum number of calls made. Okay, then these are the top 5 townships. The logic is same, but this time we'll be using this column containing this township information. So this is the most kind of a dangerous township from which I'll not be calling it dangerous, but of course, if maximum number of 911 calls were made from this township, so it means there is some kind of a problem. Otherwise, the logic is same for calculation of this whole top for extracting out these top 5 townships. We'll also be using this group by function ourselves, but this value counts is a useful function which does that for us. Okay, then we'll extract out unique title codes. So how many title codes, how many unique title codes do we have? So for that, we will use this title function, and we have total of 110 unique title codes. If we look at this title contains the reason for which the call was made. So the reason could be back pain, injury. However, this back pain and injury and this diabetic emergency is coming under this EMS title. So this is more like a broader category, and this fire is another broader category. So we want to extract out these broader categories. So for that, what we will be doing is that we want to apply a function on this title variable, this title column. And lambda function is a function which is applied. This is inline function, like one line function. So given the input x, so this is kind of an input x. And what is input x? X is basically every single item, every single call row of this data frame. This apply function is actually applying this lambda function that that I'll be explaining in parallel for each of the row. So in a way, what it will do is for each of the row, it will take this title, this is the title, and what will it apply? It will apply this split function on this title. This title is basically in string form. So this title has this type object. So this string is actually splitted using this colon string. This colon is used to split this title into 2. So this EMS is separated out, and this back pain and injury, this detail is separated out. And what we are interested in is to get out this first information of a broader category EMS. So, and we store this in this another new column, which we will be calling reason. So this new column will get generated, and it will contain the value EMS for the first row, then EMS for the second row, and fire for the third row. In this way, we have total EMS, fire, and all other categories, broader categories available for each of the row. This is what is happening inside this logic, inside this cell. Then we want to find out the most common reason. How we do that? For that, we will again look at the count for each of the reasons. So EMS, because of EMS, there were more than 48,000 calls made, and because of traffic, there were more than 35,000 calls made, and because of fire, there were more than 14,000 calls made. So of course, EMS is the major problem here. Now, how do we can also plot that? This is a count plot that we could use Seaborn library for plotting, and this count plot contains this x, and x is basically a reason column, this reason column of this data frame, and palette is basically this color map. So we are using this various color map. Okay, the next step is to convert the timestamp type, and for now it's string. So we will use this to_datetime function of this pandas class. So this pandas library is containing this function of to_datetime, which will convert the type of this column timestamp. Once converted, then we will apply this lambda function. Lambda function is a function which will be applied. This function, whatever this logic is, so I'll be explaining this logic, but this apply a method that we are using for this data frame column timestamp is actually what it will be doing is that whatever the logic is defined here will be applied for each of the row of this data frame containing these timestamps. So what is the logic? The logic is that extract the timestamp of each row, and for each row extract the hour information and store it in this new column hour, and extract out this month information and store it in this month new column, and extract out this day of week information and store it in this day of week column. So these 3 new columns will get generated, this hour, month, and day of week. And how will they get generated? Just let me show you. So what it will do is this apply function will look at this first row, and this timestamp is now in date time type. So using this date time class, it will extract out this hour information, this month information, and this day of week information depending on what was the date. So we could extract out the day of week on which the call was made. So all of this information will be extracted out and will be stored in new columns. So this timestamp is now not necessary. We have extracted all the necessary information and we'll be working with that information. So this apply function is important that you understand. And we could also use any other function if it is not lambda, if you're comfortable with defining your own functions if in not a lambda form but a regular form. But it's better that you apply this lambda function. Okay, what then we will do is that day of week information is actually stored in between the values of 0 to 1. So 0 means Monday, 1 means Tuesday, 2 means Wednesday, and go on. So I'll create this dictionary containing this information, that what 0 means and what 1 means and what 2 means, and then we will map this dictionary onto this column of day of week. So in a way we will convert and will change this 0 into Monday, this 1 into Tuesday. So this, after this conversion, then what we will do is we will create this count plot. This count plot is containing the information for each of the day and the major reason of call made. So in a way we are looking at the relationship of day and the major reason of call, so if there is any. So this is what we are doing here. So if we look at it, the fire is constant for each of the days. So the number of calls that was made because of fire is constant, but no matter it's Thursday or Friday or Saturday. But the number of calls that was made because of traffic is having a trend. So if you look at the Sunday, so of course it makes sense that the number of calls because of traffic was made was least on the Sunday, because a lot of people stay at home. But if you look at the Monday, so the Monday has a very higher value for traffic in relative to Sunday. So this is kind of information that we are getting. And how do we get this information? Using this Seaborn library and this count plot function containing this X. On the x-axis we have this day of week, Monday, Thursday, Friday. These are not 0 to 1 because of this mapping function that we have done. And this is a data frame that we will be using, and the hue is actually a kind of another information that we have also incorporated instead of just drawing this count plot. And this hue is actually a reason. So in a way we are looking at different reasons. So for each of the reason we have separate columns. So for EMS it's separate, fire it's separate, and for traffic it's separate. If we had not given this hue, it means we are not using this reason column to create this hue, then we would have received this single column, big column, containing the total number of count for each of the day. That is what we do not need. Instead, we want to find out the trend in each of the individual major reason of call made. Okay, we will do the same thing for month, and we'll look at the trend for the month if there is any. And then what we'll be doing is, then the next part is a bit difficult, but the main idea is that we want to extract out all of the data for each of the months separately, and then we want to look at it. And what do we want to look at it? I'll be explaining that, but before that, let me extract out the data for each of the months separately. How do we do that? We will group by the month, and once we group by the month, it means that in data frame, the month column containing a value of 1 will be extracted out, and all the rows containing the value of 1 for the month column will be extracted out and will be counted together, and the count will be used. So this is the count for latitude. All of these are same. So there are more than 13,000 calls made during this first month of January, and more than 11,000 calls made during the month of February. So this is how this is what we are doing here. Once we have done that, this trend is what we are seeing here even. So this is what I was talking about. So 13,000, more than 13,000 values are for the first month, and for second and third and fourth. So then what we want to do is we want to model it. So this is kind of applying this linear model, and we want to plot it. So this is linear model plotting. So this is a linear fit to the number of calls made per month. So again, what we are doing here is that we are creating this new column of date, and this date column is again extracted out from this timestamp. So, and we apply this lambda function, and this is the method dot date that is used to extract out the date. Given this date, again we group by the data according to the date, and we count it. And this is like kind of 8 months data from month number 1 to month number 8. And then what we are doing is that we want to look at this trend that how the number of calls made actually varies from time to time, even within a month. So this is a broader aspect of month, that in each month how much calls were made, and then this is like on each day how much calls were made. So once we aggregate all these calls together for the first month, we will get this single value. Okay, once done, then we will look at this the same thing, the same trend, but this time we want to look at this trend for traffic, like for traffic major, what we call reason. So we have this data frame and we extract out the rows containing the major reason to be traffic, and then once we have extracted out that data set, then we group by. So we do not group by complete data, we only group by the data containing the reason of traffic, and then we do the same thing. So this is what we get, and then we do it for fire, and then we do it for EMS. So in a way we can see the reason of the call made, and we can decrease those number of calls by taking respective measures, by analyzing these details in more depth. And there comes the domain knowledge. So given this domain knowledge, we could find out this peak, that why was that peak, was there any special function or special kind of a event that was held on that day for which traffic calls were made more. So this is what we want to find out. Okay, then let me go to another aspect of looking at the data. This is like another aspect of exploration. We want to find out the peak hour for each of the day, which during which the maximum calls were made. How do we do that? First of all, we will group by the data based on both day of week and the hour. So all of the rows in the data frame containing the day of week, Friday for example, will be extracted out, and then inside that data frame we will extract out all the rows containing the hour 0, and we will sum them together and we'll count them. Once we count them, so there are in our data set, there are 275 total number of calls made during first hour on the day of Friday, and then for the second hour, for third. So this is how we calculate this information for each day and for each hour of the day. Once we have done that, this is how it will look, this day hour column or day hour data frame. This is how it will look, containing the information for day of week and the hour, and the count for each of this hour day combination. Then we want to unstack it. How do we unstack it? What do we mean by unstacking it? Because both of these are stacked together. For this Friday we have this 7 information, and then we do it for Wednesday. So once we unstack it, then for this thing that is in the row form is converted into this column form. So we have total number of 30 days, and for Friday we have information for all of these 30 days. Once we apply this unstack method, we get this hour information, this 24-hour information. I'm sorry, I just said 30. It's not 30, it's 24. So we have total 24 number of hours. So for each day we have total number of calls made during hour 0 and 1, and then 2 and 3, and up to 24. Once we have done that, then we could create this heat map, and this is the heat map, and this heat map tells us the peak time. So in a way we could say this between hour 8 to hour number 18 is the peak time, is what we could say comparatively more calls were made, and the most peak time was the 16th and 17th hour. So one thing. Secondly, we could see this Sunday and Saturday where less calls were made, and this Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday were the days where more calls were made. So if you look at this region, so this makes sense. I mean, it is possible, so it makes more sense. Okay, so this is how we could do this. We could create this heat map and find out more details. So in this whole notebook, we could see the use of group by operation, this group by method that we applied during in the pandas. So group by is very useful. Then what we want to do is we want to cluster them together. This is like a cluster map, but this cluster map is difficult to understand because this is basically a dendrogram that we have created. This dendrogram is the detail of this dendrogram and all the thing is actually beyond this video, because we just wanted to do this data analysis. This comes under the category of machine learning, where we want to cluster the data set and then we want to analyze it. But we could see these clusterings, this dendrogram, for those of you who understand it. For those of you who do not understand it, I'll be creating videos on that specifically. And then we could do the same thing, but not for the each day and hour, instead for the combination of day of hour and month. So this is the combination of day of hour and month. It is more crude. I mean, we could not see much of a pattern here, but still we could see a pattern in this Saturday Sunday field, where the number of calls made were of course less, but this is somehow kind of different, where the number of calls made were maximum in the first month and on this Saturday. So this first month Saturdays, I don't know why it's anomaly. It needs further exploration, because there are a lot of calls which were made during this first month and this Saturday time period. So this Saturday day of week. So this is how we do. Then we again create this cluster map. So this is the main crux of our analysis. We have learned a lot of transforming the columns, generating new columns, and how to create new information from timestamp specifically, and how do we find out the trend, and how do we create these cluster maps, how to use this group by method. I hope so it makes sense. I'll be creating more complex videos in this section of data analysis, exploratory data analysis using Python, in future videos.